Hawaiian trade winds, sky of endless blue, moonlight on the ocean, good food, good wine, and you.
Great chefs, Hawaiian stuff. Oh, great chefs, Hawaiian stuff.
Aloha, and welcome to Great Chefs of Hawaii. Come join us for a taste of paradise as the island's finest chefs explore Pacific Rim cuisine. This time from Hawaii, Corey Waite. From Oahu, Anjan Kim. And from Maui, Kathleen Dalemans.
The South Kahala Coast features great beaches and several fancy resorts. Two of these, Mauna Kea and Hapuna Beach Prince Hotels, feature the cooking of executive chef Corey Waite. Before coming to the islands, he chefed in Arizona and Washington, D.C. His starter is crispy sea scallops wrapped in phyllo shreds. The components include very large sea scallops, blanched wongbok leaves, and the shredded phyllo dough, which will serve as sort of a package. The chef begins by prepping some lemongrass.
So we're going to crush the lemongrass. Just need a little bit from the root where all the flavor is. Gotta clean the scallops. Big jumbo sea scallops.
For this dish, the sea scallops are halved.
Season with a little salt and pepper. Okay. So we're going to saute the sea scallops in a little lemongrass, touch of olive oil. Prior to this, we made a little our stock, a lobster broth. Sauteed some onions, some shallots, carrots, and celery. Then we use a little fish stock with a pinch of saffron. Saute the lemongrass a little bit. So all we want to do is just part cook them, blanch them. Shut it off. What we've done is we've blanched some wonbok. We're going to put it in the center of our shredded phyllo.
Wongbok is also called bok choy. It's a mild Chinese cabbage. The shredded phyllo dough is also known as karafi.
We're going to wrap this. Make somewhat like a purse. We've cut a thin strip of aluminum foil. We'll use to tie it. What you want to do is you want to cut off some of the phyllo at the top because it'll burn. In a preheated oven, bake it at 350 for about 10 minutes.
The sauce for the dish is reduced lobster stock.
So after we've strained it, cilantro leaves, sprigs, as garnish. Small slivers of chili pepper, Hawaiian chili pepper.
This is beurre blanc.
Touch of chili oil. That's it.
The Hanatei Bistro, just outside of Honolulu, is a refined backdrop for the Euro-Asian food of Anjin Kim. If you're in the mood to whoop it up, there's also a sports bar at the restaurant with the decidedly upscale pupus, or hors d'oeuvres, of the diminutive Korean chef. Here's her Opakapaka with sesame-chili sauce. It's also called pink snapper on the islands.
Okay, this is Hawaiian deep sea snapper. It's a white flesh meat. You just want to cut this, score the skin a little bit so it doesn't shrink up while it's cooking. Okay, we're gonna steam this. We'll season with a little bit of salt and pepper. And put it in a steamer. And also these asparagus is just going to be garnished, so I'm gonna steam it together. Asparagus will take a little bit less time, so we'll pull it out before. Let that cook. Get it.
The sauce is started with sesame oil.
Heat the sesame oil. Add ginger. Hawaiian chili peppers. These are tiny peppers, but they're quite strong. And some chopped green onions. Let it sizzle. Just bring it to a boil, and that's ready to go. So now, let me see the alpaca. Quite ready. Asparagus is ready. It's not ready. These are on the plate. Keep going. Piping hot sauce, just pour it over. Garnish with shredded green onions, white parts only, and some Chinese parsley on top. And serve it with white rice. That's finished.
Wailea on East Maui is the setting for the Grand Wailea Resort. At the time of taping, the executive chef was Kathleen Dalemans. She not only opened the resort's cafe, but lost 30 pounds in the process. The voluble chef's low-fat passion has given rise to desserts like a chocolate chip ice cream sandwich.
Okay, today we're going to make low-fat chocolate chip cookies, different from those Toll House cookies that give us our hips. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use some fat substitutes and also a better sugar that your body can quickly metabolize. Each finished cookie is actually going to have only 2 grams of fat, so there's a big plus in these cookies. What we're going to do first is we're going to use our butter, and we're using half the normal amount of butter, and we're going to use banana puree as our fat replacement. We're going to use sucanat and some light brown sugar. We're going to use sucanat instead of white refined sugar, which is actually the evaporated juice of cane containing all of the vitamins and nutrients. This is actually very quickly metabolized into energy as opposed to being stored as fat and sending your insulin levels high and low like traditional sugars. That's why we chose to use this. This makes this a more healthy recipe. All right, we're going to cream together our sucanat, our butter, and our light brown sugar.
The banana puree is also in the bowl.
This is going to take about a minute on a medium speed. And then instead of using eggs, which you traditionally use, we're going to use egg whites. And instead of 1 egg, we're going to use 2 egg whites. So the traditional recipe is 2 eggs, we're going to use 4 egg whites. And you do not have to pre-whip them. And we now have a beautiful creamy mixture here. We're going to add our egg whites and a little bit of vanilla extract. And these really are as good as Toll House cookies. We're going to thoroughly incorporate the egg whites and the vanilla into the creamed mixture, and then we're going to add our dry ingredients. Our dry ingredients, 2 1/4 cups of flour. Use whole wheat if you can stand it. It makes a healthier cookie. We're going to use a little bit of baking soda and some salt. Okay, we're going to add these together. Mix them just a bit, and gradually add them to our batter. I'm going to start off by adding approximately 1/4 of the dry, because if you add it all at once, you get a big explosion. which I've done before. Okay. Instead of using traditional chocolate chips, I'm using a non-dairy chocolate chip I actually get at the health food store. They're called vegan chocolate chips. They're really easy to get. They have no dairy and they are sweetened naturally with sometimes date sugar and sometimes sucanat. They are naturally low in calories. And they're very easy to get and they're a little bit more expensive, but they're worth it. Okay, we're gonna add 8 ounces. Now I'm going to show you what your batter should look like. You're going to make your cookies. On a cookie sheet lined with parchment, you're going to drop your cookies onto your sheet pan. You're going to bake these at a lower temperature so that you get a nice chewy cookie, 280 degrees, for approximately 12 to 15 minutes. If you want a crunchy cookie, you can do it at a higher temperature, 350 degrees, for about 8 minutes. That's it. When you take them out of the oven, today we made oversized, so these probably have 4 grams of fat per cookie, but that's it. Okay, now we're gonna make the ice cream. Okay, we are going to make extremely low fat, very rich and delicious chocolate ice cream. This is what I came up with when I was dying for my Haagen-Dazs late night in my bed. So what you do is you take some bananas, try to get overripe or very sweet bananas, and you freeze them in a container like this. If you're in a hurry, you can lay them in a single layer on a cookie sheet lined with parchment, and it will take only about 30 minutes to get your bananas really frozen. What we're going to do is take our bananas and put them in the bowl of our food processor, and we're going to let these sit at room temperature for about 5 minutes before we put them into the food processor, mostly so that we don't burn the motor of the food processor out, which I've done many times. All right? We're going to take a very good high-quality cocoa powder, unsweetened. It's very important. You don't want to add any extra sugar. The bananas are very sweet on their own. We're going to just add it to the bananas like this, and we're going to puree. We're just going to pulse this, and this will become a rich, delicious, silky smooth ice cream. If you have a little bit of trouble and you can't get the consistency of the ice cream that you want, you can add a little bit of skim milk to this mixture. But if you're just patient, it'll take about 1.5 minutes. You will get your ice cream without the skim milk. If you can't have dairy, you can also use water or a chocolate liqueur. You can flavor this with extracts as well, or liqueurs such as Grand Marnier. You might want to add a little bit of orange zest. You can add some crushed almonds to this, but be careful you'll be adding extra calories. But this is a great ice cream base from which to build on. This is what it looks like halfway through the process. I'm just going to push everything down into the middle. And as you can see, some of it looks good. If we were in a rush, we could add a little bit of milk or liquid at this time. But we'll be patient and get the right product. Okay, stop the camera. I'm going to add a little liquid. Save for production costs. Okay. Now we have the finished product. A very creamy, delicious. I like to eat this right out of the food processor. Now you know my secrets. That's it. You can see it's a beautiful ice cream. It's really soft right now. This would be a great milkshake. Or you can freeze it and it will get hard. Today, we're going to take our low-fat chocolate chip cookies and our extremely low-fat, rich and delicious chocolate ice cream that we just made, and we're going to make a very decadent dessert because we're treating ourselves. We're going to make an ice cream cookie sandwich, which is one of my favorites. Okay? We take one of our cookies. You can make these to order, or you can make these ahead of time. We have decorated a plate with a little bit of unsweetened, bittersweet chocolate. That was a contradiction. A little bit of bittersweet chocolate. This is it. This is our ice cream cookie sandwich.
Great chefs, Hawaiian style. Ah, great chefs, Hawaiian style. Ah.